Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Joan Vassos wants to restore show energy, sex drive, and vitality. The Golden Bachelorette debut is just around the corner. Undeniably, star Joan Vassos is making it her mission to accomplish a lot with her inaugural season of the Golden Bachelor spin-off. Is eager to restore Bachelor Nation's energy, sex drive, and vitality with her season. Stepping up to the challenge. Undoubtedly, Joan Vassos had a rough start with her attempt to win over Jerry Turner in the Golden Bachelor. However, with the announcement of becoming the first ever Golden Bachelorette, Joan has embraced her role with open arms. Sadly, after the finale of Bachelor Nation's Bachelorette with Jen Tran, there is concern for the franchise. Furthermore, they are facing backlash since the first ever Golden Bachelor's wedding kicked off the year, but was unfortunately over in just 3 months. Undeniably, this is a tough time to enter the Bachelor world with the chaos in 2024. But not everything has gone awry. Bachelor, Joey Graziadei, and his fans, Kelsey Anderson, are still going strong. Even so, Joan Vassos is up for the challenge to restore the brand's energy, sex drive, and vitality. Joan Vassos brings a fresh feeling. While Joan Vassos is boldly taking on the challenge of positive vibes for Bachelor Nation, she still has some nerves. As she prepared for the filming of the show, she said as she approached Jess Palmer, "I'm having all the feels." Then she adds, "I never in a million years imagined I would be back here." Since she was on The Golden Bachelor about a year ago, it seems like déjà vu. However, her attempt at love was cut short by a family emergency. Now she is taking center stage as the 124 men will be wooing. Her suitors range from 57 to 69 years old. Luckily, by passing up Jerry, she gets her pick from a U.S. Navy captain, a retired UN agency director, a rancher, an emergency room doctor, and even Kelsey Anderson's fan-favorite dad. Since The Golden Bachelor was a big hit, Bachelor Nation is hoping to get a good or better turnout for the new spinoff. But challenges with how Jen Tran's treatment as the first Asian American Bachelorette are being perceived as negative, leaves a shaky question if the show will get the desired ratings. But Joan Vassos is prepared to bring a beautiful light to the franchise. Although The Golden Bachelorette, Joan Vassos is no stranger to turmoil. She is ready to show that aging can be graceful. Sadly, she lost her husband John to cancer after being married for 32 years. Discussing the pain during a video interview, she said, "I felt like I was living on an island." Furthermore, she tells fans, "I felt so alone. I thought people would set me up with guys, but that didn't happen. It's hard out there. The world is made up of couples, but we all deserve love." But she is leaping to find love in a non-traditional way. "I feel so lucky I was chosen to do this," she adds. "I've learned a lot about myself and how finding love in this world works." And she knows John is proud to see her taking a new chance. She says, "My late husband John would love this." Additionally, she says he was a big fan of reality TV. "I'm sure he's watching us now, saying, 'That's my wife down there,'" according to Vi. Entertainment, her goal is to ensure the audience sees that older people still have plenty of energy, sexual drive, and physical vitality. Continuing, Joan Vassos says, "I don't want this to be about me. I want this to be about a message of hope." Unmistakably, the school administrator says, "I love hearing stories from people who watched The Golden Bachelor and said it gave them a new sense of hope. At our age, people expect us to take a back seat and become support for a new generation, children, and grandkids. I felt guilty because I want something more than that." Furthermore, the network is supporting Joan Vassos in her endeavors. The Bachelor executive producers and showrunners, Bennett Graebner and Claire Freeland, replied to questions over worries about ratings after Jerry Turner and Theresa Nist's divorce. They replied, "We're always disappointed when one of our couples doesn't work out. However, the Bachelor franchise is no different than life outside the confines of the TV screen. Sometimes marriages last forever, sometimes they don't. However, they applaud Joan for her energy in embracing the role. They continue, "We were fortunate that so many of the women from Jerry's inaugural season were worthy of being the first Golden Bachelorette." Further writing, "We could have made a fantastic season with any one of them. However, we kept coming back to Joan. She deserved a second chance." Joan Vassos stood in front of her bathroom mirror, staring at her reflection with the sharp eyes of a woman who had once conquered boardrooms and negotiated high-stakes deals. Yet lately, she felt something was missing. A fire, a vitality that used to pulse through her veins like a second heartbeat. Joan wasn't the type to sit back and let life slip away. She was a fighter, a go-getter, and when she set her mind to something, nothing could stop her. She had always prided herself on being more than just a career woman. Joan was a vibrant presence, with an electric energy that filled any room she entered. Her relationships were just as dynamic. She and her partner, Tom, had shared an intimacy that made others envious. They laughed together, made spontaneous plans, and their chemistry was undeniable, both in and out of the bedroom. But recently, the fire had dimmed. It was more than just work stress, more than the natural ebb and flow of a long-term relationship. It was a deeper shift. Her body wasn't responding the way it used to, and Joan found herself making excuses to avoid intimacy with Tom. She missed the thrill, the heat, the vitality that had once made her feel alive, and the energy that had once driven her to conquer the world. One night, after an evening of yet another half-hearted attempt to rekindle their lost spark, Joan sat up in bed, determination etched into her every feature. "This isn't how it's supposed to be," she whispered to herself. "This isn't who I am." The next morning, Joan's mind was racing. She'd heard about hormonal imbalances, lifestyle changes, and how they could affect women's energy, sex drive, and vitality. But Joan didn't want a temporary fix. She wanted a complete restoration, a return to the vibrant woman she once was. Her journey began with research. Joan dove into articles, podcasts, and books on the subject. She discovered that the decline she was experiencing wasn't uncommon for women her age. Hormonal shifts, especially those linked to perimenopause and menopause, could dramatically affect energy levels, libido, and even one's overall zest for life. It was comforting to know she wasn't alone, but Joan wasn't one to just accept this as a natural part of aging. She wanted to take action. That's when she found Dr. Harris, a holistic health expert who had built a reputation on helping women restore their vitality through a combination of lifestyle changes, hormonal support, and mindful practices. Joan booked a consultation immediately. At her first appointment, Dr. Harris greeted her with a warm smile. He was a tall, calm man in his mid-50s, with a demeanor that suggested he had seen it all and was confident in his ability to help. "Joan," he said, "your concerns are valid, and it's something many women go through. But the good news is that you can absolutely restore your energy, your sex drive, and your vitality. It's not about reversing time, but about realigning with your body's needs in this phase of life." Joan nodded eagerly. She was ready to do whatever it took. Dr. Harris outlined a comprehensive plan for her, focusing on 3 key areas: hormonal balance, diet, and mental wellness. He explained that her hormones, especially estrogen and testosterone, could be contributing to her lack of energy and libido. He recommended bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, BHRT, to help regulate her levels, but not without a lifestyle overhaul to complement it. He also introduced her to a new way of eating, not a diet, but a way of nourishing her body with the right foods. "Inflammation is your enemy," Dr. Harris said, explaining how certain foods could make Joan feel sluggish and unmotivated. Her new regimen focused on anti-inflammatory foods, rich in omega-3s, antioxidants, and lean proteins. It wasn't about losing weight. It was about giving her body the fuel it needed to thrive. Lastly, Joan's mental wellness was just as important. She had been so focused on her career and external goals that she'd forgotten to nurture her inner world. Dr. Harris suggested meditation and mindful movement like yoga, as well as counseling sessions to explore any mental blocks that could be affecting her intimacy with Tom. Joan left that appointment feeling empowered. For the first time in months, she felt hope, a hope that this wasn't the end of her vitality, but a new chapter where she could take control of her body and her life.